let's bring out our first presenter from the Promethean community in the DC metro area and Venezuela, Andres Marquez-Lara.
We label people all the time. In an instant, we create labels and stories about the other and our relationship to them. Some of these labels make us feel proud. Some of these labels can make us feel ashamed or embarrassed. And sometimes these labels actually are so hurtful and painful that they can actually brand us for life. They can scar us in such ways that the memories just prolong forever. This activity of labeling is at the heart of stigma. When we stigmatize the other, we don't relate to them as a human being with complex, rich history. We just see the brand. We just see the label, the scar. The thing is, this activity of labeling is something that we are hardwired to do. We evolved in such a way. Our ancestors had to make quick decisions. Is the person coming towards me a friend or a foe? Is that a stick or a snake on the ground? And that allowed us to survive. However, it had some negative consequences because when we label the other, we dehumanize them. We dehumanize them in such a way that they become this faceless being. We can interchange them with anybody that shares that label. We simplify their history. We simplify their emotions, their motives, their culture. And this begins to create separation. This begins to create a narrative of us versus them, us who share our labels and the others. And this tears at the social fabric of our health. This begins to impact the quality of our health because we're social beings. And our emotional, physical, and spiritual health depends on our connection with others. And when this begins to happen, we begin to create the separation that not only impacts our individual health, but also impacts the health of our community and our democracy. The activity of labeling chips away at our social capital. We make it really hard when we label others to restore the trust that has been lost. So in order to heal as individuals, in order to heal as communities, we need to be able to go beyond these labels. We need to be able to break through. We need to be able to create environments that will allow us to explore these labels. Be mindful that we do this activity, but most importantly, to challenge them. To challenge that initial first response we have that we're hardwired to have. The thing about that is that it's actually quite difficult to do this. Because when you ask somebody to challenge the way that they label and the stories they tell about themselves and the others, you're challenging their worldview. You're challenging this way of seeing the world. And when you do this, you're playing with an emotional fire that is fueled by memories, by emotions, by values. And sometimes that fire can unleash severe, painful, traumatic memories. So when we're trying to heal communities, we're trying to help them explore these labels, it is imperative that we create a container for this fire, that we're able to contain and sustain that intensity. And one important thing about that is when we're able to contain that fire, we're able to then get close to that other that we've dehumanized. That other that perhaps made us feel anxious or afraid. That in the real life, on the street, we perhaps want to approach. But on the safety of the stage, we're able to approach that. And so the stage becomes this environment, this hearth, this container to explore and challenge the labels. You see, on the stage, I can be who I am, and I can become the other. When I do that, I embody their stories. It's not an intellectual exercise. It's a holistic approach where I become them for an instant. And that helps me build empathy. That helps me be curious about who they are. I'm able to practice new ways of relating to them. I'm able to see new perspectives about the other and ourselves. On the stage, we're able to create and improvise new responses. We're able to provide and create environments that allow us to connect with the other. Essentially, the stage becomes a sort of social emotional gym. We're able to build our muscles of empathy, our muscles of curiosity. We're able to build our capacity to respond to the other in a way that will bring us closer instead of reacting to them in a way that will pull us apart. The stage becomes that for us. And when we're able to do this, when we're able to build our capacity and these emotional muscles, we plan the possibility that on the stage of life, we can have this response that is connected, that is curious, that is empathic. When we are able to do this, we're able to do this in our communities. We're able to plan the possibility of creating new relationships, of going deeper. On the stage, we're able to heal. On the stage, we're able to go beyond the labels that keep us apart. On the stage, we're able to restore the social fabric of our individual and collective health. On the stage, remember that we are the other. Thank you.